Welcome to tonight's Sunday call, guys. I appreciate you guys for being live on this call. For the people that are live on this call, my name is Isaiah. I'm 30 years old. I'm currently living in Denver, Colorado. If you care about the bio so much, that's where I live currently. I do love to travel. I do love to meet new people. I love to create opportunity for others, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about opportunity. We're going to talk about the time that we use on a daily basis to create opportunity in our lives. How it is that we're responding to certain things, which is what I'll be diving into tonight. A little bit about these calls and how these calls got started. They actually got started when I started the journey of trading, and I was listening to my mentors throughout my journey just really share motivation on Sundays, and it really inspired me to understand this topic at a different level, because I was like, you know what? I really love, just being on these calls on Sundays, because I feel like my life is changing because I'm on these calls on Sunday. Because on Sunday, that's when you get to plan your week before Monday hits, right? Because once Monday hits, everything's go. Like I feel it myself because I'm a business owner, and I also trade online, digital currencies, for the people that are also in our trading group. That's what I do, so I also am pretty busy on a daily basis. So I love these calls because these calls help me organize a Sunday before I get into a trade that I don't need to be getting into. So I love these calls for that purpose. And obviously because I love, sharing conversation with you guys as well. And for the people watching this for the first time, okay, this is all about you. It's about your mindset. So whatever it is that you grasp tonight, run with it and build on it, okay? We have these calls every Sunday. For the people that, want to join us on Sundays, we have these calls Sunday. And these are like your service, Sunday service. The reason I want to share that with you guys is because I love serving, right? And when you serve others, you help others get to where it is that they need to get to, right? That's what really inspires me to really keep going. That's why I do these calls, and that's where these calls really, birthed it from, because I love that concept of mentors, you sharing that into my life. So I decided to, pour that into every single person that, decides to listen to these calls. And the people that are live right now, I appreciate you guys, and I encourage you guys to keep watching, okay? So tonight's topic is going to be how we live is how we respond to our daily life, okay? So how we live is how we respond. So sometimes in our life, we're going to be dealt with a project, right? How many of us, have wanted to take on projects, but we're at work and we don't necessarily know how to balance the two? A lot of us, are there. I know that when I was there, it was very difficult for me to balance those things out. So the way I would respond to things was super, super important, because that is what kept me in the game in my head. Okay, so the way you respond, again, take note of this, the way you respond will keep you in your head, in your game, right? Because when I understood that this market had trillions of dollars and there was a lot of tax money in this, I was like, I can build an opportunity from this. I don't really need, the help of too many people. I would love to share this with others because I want to trade with others, because I want to share this with others, because I'm not selfish, which is why I like sharing this with others. But I didn't know how to respond to it at work. At first, I was sharing it with everybody. That was a bad idea, because everybody gets jealous. One time I actually got robbed. True story, because I told some guy that I was trading on my demo. I showed him my demo. I was at like 20K on my demo, and he thought it was my real money. I even told him, like, bro, this is my demo. So I encourage you guys not to share any profits for that same reason. Not any of them, because people right now, they're in a different mindset. That was even 2 years ago, but even now, people are in a different mindset. So they might see that as oh, dude, this person is loaded. I'm going to go ahead and take their money. And you're not even at that level yet. So that's why I always share this with you guys. Go ahead and, just keep that to yourselves, because a lot of the times when we spill the thunder, we end up jinxing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that to you. Trading is for you. And those people that want to know, just send them to Isaiah, Brittany, or, Stacia, or Amanda, Francisco, whenever he has some time, also, send them to him, we would love to work as a team, to put everything together. That way we can all work as a community rather than just Isaiah's the only person, because I don't want to be running a dictatorship, and I don't, which is why I do these calls on Sundays, is to help people respond to how it is that they need to respond in their business and in their life. How do you want to be coached? How is it that you want to learn? Do you want to learn 2 times a week? Do you want to learn 1 time a week? Do you want to learn once a month, twice a month? How is it that you want to trade? How you respond to your life is going to be very important, but that comes from how you're living your life, okay? So let's start there. Where does how you live come from, right? Okay, the way you focus your life can start actually affecting the way you live your life, right? Because you start focusing on the wrong things. Sometimes we give too much focus to work, and that's not where we're gonna be for the next 40 years. Now, if that's good, if that's where you're gonna be for the next 40 years, then that's okay. Go ahead and continue, thinking about work that way. But if you're not going to be there 40 years from now, then I suggest you start thinking, okay, so I have to balance my life out from what it sounds like. I have to balance my work and I have to balance my business. Okay, so how many hours a week? And Amanda's great at this, guys. So if you guys have a question to ask her on time management, she has a whole, little course that she has that she can put together for you guys on time management, on managing your time. How many hours do you work? How many hours do you want to give to your studies? How many hours do you have for like extracurricular activities? So those things are all important, guys, because as we start managing time, if we don't learn how to cut certain activities, we're never going to attract the things that we truly want in our lives, because the things that we truly want in our lives are going to take time to develop, right? They're going to take consistency. I'm very proud of, Brittany, Stacia, and Aksha. You're coming through very, 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 very strong with the consistency and just being very disciplined. I know we've only worked 2 weeks, but you've already gotten a chart going. You've already gotten your trades going. You've already, started to ask certain questions, that a lot of people haven't asked me. And I was just like, oh my God, I was pretty impressed about that. And that comes from your level of focus. Your level of focus, where you've been in your life, the experiences that you've been through, how you've responded to those experiences. That's what's allowed you to focus positively, right? Because we can have negative focus and then nothing happens in our lives, right? So learning how to use these 3 commodities properly will give you all that you desire in your life. And I want you guys to write these 3 commodities down, and then I'll break them down. So number 1, meaning time. Number 2 would be space. And number 3 would be opportunity. Okay? Our time, the time that we spent doing the things that we love or don't love, will determine the energy that we have. That's a law. That's not something you reason with. That's a law. Okay? So the time that you spend doing whether the things that you love or the things that you don't love is going to still give you a type of energy. Okay? So time will give you energy. Time is energy. Okay? So time, energy. Okay? Those 2 things go together. Number 2 was space. That will create an environment. Okay? So your space creates your environment. Okay? So your space comes from your mental space first. That's what creates your environment. Okay? There's a law called the law of perpetual transmutation, which means that everything invisible is turning visible. We just can't see it most of the time. Like when you see a flower that's been planted with a seed, you don't see the flower growing until it sprouts through the ground, but it's growing when it's under the ground as well. So that's part of that law of perpetual transmutation, right? Just like when a baby is in a mother's womb, we don't see the baby, but we know the baby's there. Like, for instance, when my son was born, I knew I could talk to him because he went inside Amanda. I just knew it, and I treated it that way, and he came out to be very responsive. And that's because I treated these laws very, 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 very personal. I was very serious about it. I wasn't joking around. I wasn't trying to dabble between other projects and other courses. No, I stood to what works, right? And I suggest that you guys do the same thing, okay? So number 3 is going to be opportunity. Opportunity is going to create your outcome, okay? This is the part where I was sharing with the students when they were in the lounge earlier, to where if you manipulate these 3 commodities, you're going to upset God in an area that you don't want to. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. If you manipulate these 3 commodities, God is going to be very upset at you. For the first-time viewers, for everybody that's listening. Why? Because you don't manipulate anything in life. And that doesn't mean that you don't impress on your life what you want. That means that if I need more time, I ask Francisco unequivocally, hey, bro, can you make me some flyers, bro? That's me manipulating Francisco. into making me some flyers. That is a no-go. Everybody's going to start feeling that vibe, and then they're going to start feeling like you're just all about money rather than all about conversation, consecration, and collaboration. Okay? Those things are important in life because when you're doing these things, it's very important to keep in mind the things that money can't buy, right? Because those are the things that keep everything together up here internally as well. Okay? So if you're in a breakthrough season, things may look slow, like nothing's happening. But just like I had mentioned, the law of perpetual transmutation, just because you don't feel it, just because you don't see it, it doesn't mean it's not coming into form. Just believe it, my friend. Believe it, because it's there for you. Do not give in to fear. Work through the fear. Focus on what is in your direct space. Okay? Focus on what's in your direct space. Okay? I was watching a race today, a NASCAR race for the people that love NASCAR. I don't know how many people love NASCAR. Actually, I used to always watch it, okay? And I'm going to reference a story that references direct space because the guy talked about direct space. But going back to NASCAR, I used to watch NASCAR, and I used to watch different sports growing up for I guess, for the play of it. You know, you start seeing the play, how they interact, how things happen, and you start seeing the level of skill, okay? So as you start seeing the level of skill that these athletes have, you start having a different level of focus if you start applying some of the things that they share. So this guy today said, you know, hey, the way I was able to, you know, just keep myself composed through the middle of this wreck that was pretty crazy. It was pretty unique to see all the cars just being professionals and just driving through the action. None of them stopped. Everything just, you could just tell that that's what they do. I mean, I wouldn't see myself doing that, but I'm saying that's a professional that understands direct space, right? I'm a professional that understands direct space in trading, in the mindset space, right? Which is why I give you guys that story, because I got that from there. I was like, oh, you know what? That's so important, because sometimes we try to listen to people that don't study all day, every day about mindset, and that can be very crucial. And what do I mean by that? Like, that means that you tell your friend about Forex for the first time, and that friend of yours tells you, yeah, but that's going to build over time, bro. What you mean, bro? You're not talking to the person that's trading every day. You're talking to the person that never even got themselves involved anyways. They're kind of doing it. Or the terms that people use, they're messing around, right? Oh, I'm messing around with a little bit of Robin Hood right now. Messing around. Don't even sound like you're serious about anything, man. Like, change your vocabulary, right? You guys have heard me say this on on other videos. You know, the level of your language will determine your income. Always be very mindful of your language. You know, how is it that you're speaking in your direct space? Going back to the direct space, because what are you professional in? What's the field that you're in? Are you a speaker? Are you a teacher? What do you teach? Do you teach Forex? Do you teach mindset? Do you teach how to write? Do you teach how to read? Do you teach how to make music? What do you do, right? Stay in that direct space, right? Because people that are going to help you in this space, like, I'm not going to help you how to change a light bulb. I barely even know how to change light bulbs. I'm just being honest with you. I'll Google it and then I'll figure it out. Like, I figured out how to, change an oil on a smart card in Santa Monica. Mind you guys, we're on this journey, and I did not know how to change oil. And I'm just going to say this for the record, because it's going to put people at, where were we, babe? Pep Boys? Pep Boys. We're at Pep Boys. The guys tell me, well, we don't know how to change it, bro. And I was like, ooh, are you serious? I'm like, bro, and you guys are calling me a scammer? People like me that are online trying to sell, a service, trying to provide a service for people, you call me a scam? So I Googled the damn thing, and I ended up changing the smart card's oil myself in the middle of Santa Monica. Mind you, we don't have a place at the time. We're just living out of a car doing videos like these. And my priority was building the team and trading. So I was like, damn, I got to figure out this whole oil change thing. I was like, man, I've done this before, my car. So I got in that direct space at that time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to Google it. I'm going to figure it out. I got surprised by the whole thing, because I didn't know that smart cars had their engine in the back. So first off, that was weird, because we have to unpack everything, and then we looked all weird. But anyways, I did it in like 30 minutes. And I went back to Pep Boys and I said, bro, you shouldn't even be working here. Like, are you serious? I figured it out, and I'm a speaker, and you're paid to change oil in a car. That's when I That's when I started speaking more truth over the land. And that's when I started this whole podcast and started sharing things with people. And I encourage you to do the same. If you, notice those things, just put them on blast on your social media. Just make a little post. Hey, have you ever been to the gym? Like, going to Oxa. Oxa was talking about she went to the gym today. Sometimes, I would go to the gym and guys don't like to do legs on leg day. Right? They like to get on the leg press and they're like, yeah, I think I'm going to do the chest press, or I'm going to do some shoulders or some cardio. But they never want to squat, lunge, or leg press. That's just my personal observation. Every time because I've worked in gyms, I've been in gyms, I've worked out, right? So long story short, men don't usually like to work out their legs. So I made posts and observations on that, like, hey, have you noticed that, most people don't, like to work out their lower half? Because that's going to encourage you to do that the next time that you find yourself with that fear in your face, right? Because that's what we were talking about, fear, right? Fear is just false evidence appearing real. That's all fear is, right? Fear, you're scared of opening up to people because you think people are going to think you're weird. Well, weird changes the world. Weird helps you be in your space. Weird helps you be who you need to be, right? So don't ever feel bad about being weird. Don't ever feel bad about being you, right? Because that's a special thing. That's the most special thing in your life is you, right? Because the best thing about you is your brain, the way you think. That's the most marvelous thing that we can ever own is our brain, our mind, the way we think, the way we do things, the way we interact, the way we respond to our lives, right? So let's bless others when they come into our space this week, right? Let's not look for people to go out of our way to go teach and do all this other stuff. I'm sure certain people already understand what to do, and I'm not talking to you guys, but I'm talking to those people that, sometimes want to go out of their way to do something. Never go out of your way. Let that come to you. Always let that be in your path. Because if you go out of your path to do something, chances are you're going to disrupt the timing that I was sharing with you guys earlier, which is very important, time. Why? Because that's going to create your energy. That's going to be very important for you guys to remember throughout this week, throughout your journey, throughout your life. That's something that I've been able to understand since I was like 2. I just didn't know how to put it together. It took me time because I had to get out of work and start doing this kind of work, right? Not that it's, something I encourage somebody to do just right off the start. You just quit your job and start doing this. No, it takes time to start doing this, to start speaking this way, to start speaking life all the time over people's life. It takes time. But when you're passionate enough about it, you can do it. I know you can, because the only thing that holds you back is the same thing that held me back before, which was fear. That was the only thing that held me back before. So make time for those who truly want to see you grow. Okay? Make time for those that truly want to see you grow. Okay? And I'm about to wrap it up here in the next 3 minutes, guys. So I'm almost there, guys. Thank you guys for being patient. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and share them in the chat box. I appreciate you guys for being in tune and tuned into this call, because this is really, really powerful stuff. I know that God spoke over my life this morning, and He speaks to me every single day. I just myself, sometimes I'm in the way, I'm in trades, I'm doing different things. But today I was like, you know what? I'm going to give you my all, my full undivided attention. Not that I don't do that every day, but today I wanted to bring something different to you guys, because I've been studying, just different material. I've been looking at different things. I've been obviously getting better in the markets. This is going to be a better quarter for that. So that plays a big factor in everything, because that's going to help you, just understand different things and different, qualities of yourself that, you never thought you had. So just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. That's the law of perpetual transmutation. And that's what I want to leave you guys with tonight. Be more aware of the invisible. What is the invisible? Your imagination. When you close your eyes, when you go to sleep, what do you dream? What do you sleep? Do you even dream? Right? Because if you don't dream, some people haven't heard that word in 15 years. Serious. Dreams. Like when you talk to somebody about their dreams, they're like, dreams, bro. You like 5? And it's like, nah, bro. Like, do you have to be 5 to dream? I thought like anybody can dream, So don't let anybody cut you at, speaking about your imagination. If you're speaking about your imagination, if you do get up on stage, if you do get up on these calls to speak on those topics, don't let anybody stop you from speaking what God put in your heart. And that's going to be invisible, right? Because nobody can see in your heart. They can only see in your heart through your words, right? That's how a book is written. Because a book is thought in pictures. Because we think in pictures and we speak in words and we write in words. But a lot of people don't take time to slow that down. right? You want to understand that you first want to start creating images of wealth. For the people that have a copy of Digital Success Blueprint, which is a copy of my first book ever, which I encourage you guys to get always. It talks about those things: managing your time, managing your emotions, how to plan your everyday life if you're a business owner, if you're at work. Things that have helped me in my life are all in that book, guys. I appreciate you guys for being on this call tonight. For the people that shared the video last week that were live on the call, Stacia, I'm going to get with you. I'm going to send you some Cash App money for sharing that video. And this week, I'm going to go ahead and have a little different prize for the person that shares it this week. So if you share it, just go ahead and tag me so I can see that, and I can send you the reward that way. Because I'm gonna keep doing the best that I can to do that as much as I can. If I obviously don't do that, it's because we're working on things, okay? But I promise that I'm gonna keep sharing this value, sharing this information with you guys, and I'm gonna keep doing cool stuff to keep us all here together, because we're all here on one mission to serve the same purpose, to serve each other, to be about each other, and to give inspiration to one another. So thank you guys for watching this call. Like, share, and comment, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. God bless you guys all. Blessings from our family to yours. God bless you.